Actually, yeah, I guess we don't do, so I'll do the statement first. Wait for that. Got it. Okay. All right. Notice of this meeting was provided to the Bernardsville News, the Courier News, Star Ledger, filed in the office of the Borough Clerk, and posted on the municipal bulletin board on December 27th, 2021, and supplemented on December 29th, 2021. We did earlier have the oaths of office for Jay and Al, so congratulations. Senator Bucco came and did that, and it was live streamed. So, and it was very cold because we did it outside. All right, so now I will call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Ambelang?
Here.
Ms. Greenfield?
Here.
Ms. McCready?
Here.
Mr. McQueen? He's here. He's here. Mr. Ribeiro?
Oh, you're muted, Al.
You're muted.
He's having a
Still muted.
problem.
That's okay. That's how he's here. Mrs. Amara?
Here.
Okay. So let us stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Got my flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Next is me, right? This is the mayor's address. So first, congratulations to our newest members, Al, Jay, and Diane as well. She's been here since November. And welcome to the council. Thank you for your willingness to serve your community. It's hard to believe that COVID is still with us as we move into 2022. We're almost at the 2-year mark. I believe March, it will be 2 years. As frustrating as the pandemic has been, there is still much to be grateful for. 2021 brought us vaccines and then booster shots and better treatments for those who do get COVID. Our restaurants and businesses came up with creative solutions to meet their customer needs, and our community supported them by shopping and dining locally. The mayor's address is my opportunity to thank all of our borough employees for providing outstanding service. I'd like to highlight some of what was accomplished this past year. And I know I'm going to miss a few, so these are highlights. First, we paved 7.46 miles of roads, reaching 276 homes, which is 10% of all our homes. Thank you to Doug Walker for his excellent work in overseeing these projects. Also completed this year was an update to the borough's road survey, which documents the condition of every road in the borough for future repairs and paving. The Recreation Department had a very successful year with many new programs, including the popular cyclocross program, thank you, John Donahue, at our new park at 271 Minebrook Road. The pool had a record enrollment and several successful social events were added to the season. The old field house at Claremont Field was repurposed from storage to programming space. After a year of gathering public input, our recreation master plan was completed, was shared with the community at a special public meeting, and priorities have been set by the Recreation Committee and the council. Thank you to Bob Markowitz and Leah Horowitz for their nonstop energy and talent. Our police department and fire and first aid volunteers also need to be commended for their prompt and efficient response to Hurricane Ida. They were able to provide temporary shelter to 190 Somerset County residents who were displaced by flooding. They also hosted a well-attended national night out at the Polo Grounds and several coffees with a cop. Thanks to the efforts of our new borough administrator, Tom Chernetsky, and Jack Pigeon and several supportive residents, we've established a law enforcement foundation to support our police department. And you'll hear more about that in future meetings. Our public works employees worked tirelessly to clean up after Hurricane Ida, and our sewer department had to do repairs, improvements to the treatment plant and kept everything running. Our construction and zoning department added municipal, so our residents can now pay online for permits, and they've been working on updating our ordinances to be more business and resident friendly. We also entered into a shared service agreement with Bernards Township for fire prevention. Our library has a new website and app and added many more borrowing opportunities by joining MAIN, which is the Morris Automated Information Network Consortium. And I have to thank our administrative staff who always go above and beyond in responding to residents' concerns, in tracking our budget and handling all the day-to-day business of running our town. Also, our department heads were trained in mental health first aid, and the borough staff, elected officials, planning board and board of adjustment chairs and vice chairs attended diversity training sessions. And my thank you list would not be complete without mentioning the many volunteers who give selflessly of their time to be of service to our community. Special thanks go to Downtown Bernardsville for achieving the Main Street designation, the County Excellence in the Arts Award, and for helping to build such a strong sense of community among our residents and businesses. And thanks also to Ed English for the amazing job he does as a volunteer manager of our farmers market. We continue to make progress in the revitalization of our downtown. At a special public meeting, we reviewed 2 developer proposals and appointed Advanced Realty as the Quimby Village developer. Several proposals have been reviewed for the old Audi dealership, and we're hoping to get that finalized in 2022. After convincing New Jersey Transit to extend the lease on the train station, we issued another RFP, a request for proposal, for a new business in the train station building. Those proposals, I believe, are due January 15th. We had several new businesses open: Restaurant MV, Equiline, August Designs, the New Jersey Academy of Music, which moved from Basking Ridge, and also Game Changer Gym. Community in Crisis moved from the former library building to their permanent headquarters on Church Street, and they're going to be adding a community center on their property for the whole community, not just for their use. There's a tentative development plan for the former Griffin and Howe and 56 Degree buildings. So there's a lot going on in revitalization. We've also applied to the Jersey Department of Transportation to be designated as a transit village, and that will help us achieve grants for further downtown improvements. While we did not receive the Transportation Alternatives Grant to create a walking path from the Boylan Terrace neighborhood, we were able to convince Congressman Malinowski to include it in the federal appropriations bill. So we're still hoping that we'll get funding for that project. 2021 was the second year we couldn't hold our traditional Memorial Day parade, but we did still manage to celebrate our veterans with a ceremony at Borough Hall and an honor escort to the unveiling of the murals. And of course, completing the murals was a major accomplishment and a wonderful collaborative community project. Looking forward to 2022, I'm sure we all hope that the pandemic will soon be behind us. 2022 will continue to be a challenging time, but I'm confident that our community will continue to thrive. We will move forward with our recreation master plan, providing opportunities for residents of all ages to enjoy the outdoors and to stay active. We'll be focusing on ways to be more sustainable as we look to install EV charging stations. As we continue to revitalize our downtown, our focus will continue to be on preserving our small town, big community identity. I am grateful to the council members, past, present, and future, for their support and commitment to our borough. And I am grateful for the opportunity to serve as your mayor. What I've learned over the past 3 years of my tenure is the importance of collaboration. All that has been accomplished in building a great future for Bernardsville has been due to the collaborative efforts of all our committees, boards, organizations, businesses, neighboring communities, as well as the school district. By creating and nurturing partnerships, Bernardsville will continue to be a wonderful place to live, work, and raise a family. I wish you all a happy and healthy 2022. Thank you.
Very nice. And Mayor, I think I speak for many to thank you personally. You spend countless hours leading this borough, and I personally very thankful for your efforts, and I know many in our community are as well. So thank you for your words, and thank you for what you do.
Thanks, Jen. See if you clap.
Agreed.
Thank you. All right.
Thanks, Mayor.
Mayor's appointments. We doing those now? Do you want me to read them? Or do we just post them? How do you
Yeah, I
want to
think it's a resolution as well. Correct, Mayor?
let me go through the agenda here. Mayor's appointments, those do not need council approval. Am I correct?
That's right. There are three levels: mayoral appointments with consent, and council appointments. These are mayoral appointments that don't require consent.
Okay, so what I will do is just read them because there aren't that many. So for the planning board, it's Hal Simoff and Karen Gardner and as class 4 members, and Terry Thompson as a class 1 member. Environmental Commission, Johanna Wissinger as chair, Greg D. Grand Prix and Rob Wilson for 3-year terms, Jeffrey Hammond for the unexpired term till 12/31/22, and Kathy Redling will be the ex officio member for 1 year. Historic preservation is, and these are all 1-year terms, Dan Lincoln, Steve Sparaglio, excuse me, Jerry Joe Cranmer, and Eileen Grippo, and Tom Wood is alternate number 2. Order Shade Tree, Ann Peterson, Johanna Wissinger, and Michael Gunderson for 1-year terms. Library Board, Gina McCready will be my alternate. Jeff Horowitz, we put in for the Solid Waste Advisory Committee. And Wastewater Management Plan is myself and John McDowell. And the Alliance is Colleen Butler from the Guidance Department at the school district, Lisa Drew, Marcy Craver, Chris Habermas, Emily Pike, Kevin Valentine, and myself, and OEM Deputy Coordinators, Tim Richard. So I think that's, all those are mine, right? That's it? Yes. Okay, so now we need a nomination for a council president. Do I have a motion or a nomination, I should say?
I move to appoint Chad McQueen as council president for 2022.
Are there, do we have a
Second.
second? Are there any other
Second.
nominations, or we're good with that? Can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Rambelang,
Aye.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Ms. McCready,
Yes.
Mr. McQueen,
Yes.
Mr. Romero,
Yes.
Ms. Zamara.
Yes.
All right, congratulations, Chad. And now Anthony has to give you the oath of office.
Yep.
You ready?
I am.
You can just read this off the screen, Chad.
All right.
I will share it. There you go.
I, Chad McQueen, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of New Jersey, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the government established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all duties of council president according to the best of my ability. And I will not use my office to grant preferential treatment, nor to seek personal gain, favor, or advantage not available to the general public. So help me God.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, welcome.
So Mary Jane, can I just make a quick statement, if that's okay?
Absolutely.
So one of the things that I'd like to do going into this, I guess, legislative or this year is to make sure that we have a set of priorities. And we've discussed this before at council. So what I'd like to ask everyone that is part of council to do over the next, maybe by Friday, is send a bulleted list of no more than 5 priorities and be specific that you have for this next 12-month time frame. And then at our next working session, which is on Monday, we can discuss those priorities, identify which ones have some general consensus, and prioritize them to make sure that we are achieving what we're looking to achieve as a council. So if everyone could send those to me by Friday, that would be great. Or I don't know if anyone has any comments or thoughts on that idea.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great idea, Chad. You know, we talked about this. We had started a strategic planning process, and I think it's a great way for us to move that forward with all being on the same page with the goals we want to accomplish for this year. So we thank you for taking the lead on that.
Great, my pleasure.
All right, now we're up to resolutions, and a lot of these are your basic beginning of the year resolutions. We have, it's funny to see this 22-1. What were we up to at the end of the year? I forget, but so now we are 22-1 to 21-20, which also includes the redevelopment agreement with our Advanced Realty, who will be the developer for the Quimby area. Most of the rest, I believe, are all beginning of the year things that we do. So would someone like to move them?
I'll move them. I move that resolution.
Somebody, Al, did you want to, I think there was a question.
I was just going to say, I don't know when the appropriate time is, Mayor, but specifically on 1220, the redevelopment agreement, I think it might, you might want to take a second just to kind of talk through that. I mean, it's such a significant and a positive milestone, I feel, in the process, and there's been a lot of work towards it. So it may be after Councilwoman McCready moves it, but I think it might be beneficial for you to just take a second to explain to the public, you know, the background on that.
Yeah, good idea. Okay, well, let's move in second, and then we can have discussion. So, Gina, you moved it. Do I have it? Al, you want a second?
No, I didn't finish, so let me just go through it. I move that resolutions 22-1 to 22-20 be adopted.
I'll second it.
Okay, so as we mentioned, most of these are just annual things that we have to do, except for 2220, where we are approving the redevelopment agreement. And for those who have been following our meetings, I believe it was August that we selected the developer. And what's been happening in the process in the meantime, as we work through what this agreement should look like, we allowed our developer to have an opportunity to meet with some of the property owners, get a sense of what what's going to be involved in him either acquiring properties, working with his architect and engineers, looking at what all that's involved. So it's taken us a little while to get this done, but it was a very invested period of time with a lot of good input from our construction attorney, Joe DeMarco, as well as topology, and a lot of really good discussions. The redevelopment committee all went into working out what, and I think what we have in this agreement is a really good understanding of what we expect from the developer. There's a timeline, there's certain milestones the developer needs to meet, and we will be meeting with him on a monthly basis to find out what the progress has been, where we are in terms of the project. So this is a really, and thank you, Al, for pointing out, it's a really positive first step in moving this project into reality. I know we've been talking about it for about 4 years, but this is really sealing the deal and making it happen. So
It's the first step of shovels in the ground.
yeah. So we're excited to have this officially done. And I guess I'll be in tomorrow to sign it. Thank you. Okay, now I need a roll call.
Okay. Ms. Zamara,
Yes.
Mr. Rivera,
Yes.
Mr. McQueen,
Yes.
Ms. McCready,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mr. Ambelang,
Yes.
I believe I have to read this, don't I?
of the time capsule. Yeah, we usually do. I know.
Uh-huh. All right, the following letter dated July 18th, 1977 is passed on in the public record as requested by the Bernardsville Shade Tree Commission, which is now the Shade Tree Committee. To the Mayor of Bernardsville and members of the Borough Council, with the recent restoration of the Borough Pond, it has been possible to complete the time capsule project by embedding the capsule in concrete at the base of the bicentennial Liberty Tree. This tree, a red oak, was planted on April 17th, 1976, at a point about 108 feet from the northeast corner of the Borough Hall building. A plaque is affixed to the top of the concrete marker, which reads, 1776 to 1976, Bicentennial Liberty Tree, Bernardsville Shade Tree Commission, April 17th, 1976. Information concerning the time capsule and its contents are contained in the accompanying envelope addressed to the residents of Bernardsville in the year 2076. Another copy, the original, has been placed in the time capsule itself. It is the wish of the members of the Shade Tree Commission from 1976 to 1977 that this letter be passed on from year to year on January 1 during the swearing-in ceremonies of each new council through the year 2076. At that time, during the tricentennial celebration of our country, the time capsule, see attached plans, is to be broken open for the residents to examine the items we have assembled, which reflect the life and times of the bicentennial year. And it's signed by the Bernardsville Shade Tree Commission, John Edmonds, who was chairman of the commission, members Victoria D. Schmidt, John Crute, Marty Craig, and Barbara Heckman. All right. Open session now. If anyone in the public would like to speak, this is your opportunity. Please keep your comments to 3 minutes and give us your name and where you live. And Anthony will time you, so he will hold up his iPad with the time clock. If you'd like to speak, if you could either use the icon to raise your hand or just wave or do something so that we know you'd like to speak. Anyone from the public wish to be heard at this time? Anthony, do you see anybody? I do not.
No, I don't.
All right. And I will close the public session. Is that it? I don't think we have we don't have an executive session, right?
You're not.
All right. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Right. We will see you next Monday. Same time, same place.
Good night, all.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Congratulations,
Happy New Year.
everybody.
Congratulations.